Hello, my name is Ryan Gottfredson, and I am the USA Today and Wall Street Journal best-selling author of the book Success Mindsets. And one of the things that I do when I work with organizations is I help them develop their leaders, but in a very specific way. You see, there's two different forms of development. There's horizontal development, which is when we add new knowledge, skills, or capabilities to a leader. This is like adding an app onto an iPad. We're broadening that iPad's or that leader's functionality. But there's a different form of development that's called vertical development. And this is when we elevate a person's ability to make meaning of their world in more cognitively and emotionally sophisticated ways. Instead of adding an app onto an iPad, what we're doing is we're actually upgrading that operating system of that iPad altogether. Right? Because adding an app onto an iPad doesn't improve how that iPad operates, but upgrading the operating system does. And so that's what I do, is I help organizations upgrade the operating systems of their leaders. And in order to do this, we need to focus on a specific component associated with one's vertical altitude. And that is how they make meaning of their world. Do they make meaning in cognitively and emotionally sophisticated ways? Or is that something that can be elevated? And the way that we do this is through mindsets. We focus on mindsets, our mental lenses that we wear that shape how we see and make meaning of our world. Let me give you a quick example of this. Is how do people respond to constructive criticism? Well, you get some people who respond in such a way that they get defensive. Right? In fact, that may be the majority of people. You get another group of people who will say, well, it depends on the person who delivers it and how they deliver it. Right? That's just a little bit more cognitively and emotionally sophisticated. But then we've got other people that say, I don't care who delivers it, I want it. Because I know that through constructive criticism, I can learn, grow, and improve. That's an elevated form of thinking and of seeing the world. And it turns out that we could categorize this into different mind levels. There's mind 1.0, mind 2.0, and mind 3.0. What I would love to do is help you identify where your leaders are at, help them identify what rung do they need to go up to next, and how to go about doing so in such a way that they could better navigate change, pressure, uncertainty, and complexity. All things that we're seeing in our world today, particularly because of the COVID pandemic. In fact, what I'm seeing with organizations is, let's say if a leader's vertical altitude is here, maybe pre-COVID, the complexity of the situation was here, which allowed them to navigate that environment quite well. But what has happened with the COVID pandemic is the world's gotten increasingly complex, yet their vertical development has not kept pace, which means that they're limited in their effectiveness to navigate this more complex situation. So what I'm finding is that organizations are sensing that the leaders may not have the vertical development necessary to be able to navigate the world that they're facing. And if that happens to be you, I want to help you out. So hopefully this is a good little introduction into vertical development, but I would love to talk to you more about that even further. So please connect with me.